So welcome back, sir. In the last class, we have completed lawful objective, lawful consideration, and agreements opposite to public policy. So we'll revise once. Hello, madam. So topic 6 in Contract Act. The objective and consideration of the contract should not be unlawful, should not be the objective and consideration should not be unlawful, should not be illegal, should not be opposed to public policy. Gandhiji said 3 monkeys: don't see bad, don't listen bad, don't speak bad. In the same way, Indian Contract Act said, if you're entering into any contract, the objective of the transaction should not be unlawful, should not be illegal, should not be opposed to public policy. When an agreement is said to be unlawful, let us try to understand better. An agreement is said to be unlawful in 5 cases. An agreement is said to be unlawful if it is forbidden by law. Forbidden means prohibited. Law said don't do that thing, but you are doing that thing. It is said to be forbidden by law. So, an agreement is said to be forbidden by law if it is punishable under the criminal law or the any other special law. When transaction is there, the transaction is punishable under the criminal law or any other special law. It is said to be unlawful, forbidden by law. It is said to be unlawful. For example, we have seen 2-3 case laws here. One thief will be there, beta. William versus Bailey. One thief will be there. The thief is stealing the property of the neighbor. The neighbor found the thief. Then thief said to neighbor, owner of the property, don't file a case on me. I will give back your property. So here, if we don't file a case on the thief, thief will steal the property. If he caught, he will return. Otherwise, he will enjoy. The agreement between the loser of the goods and the thief is a void agreement. Yes sir, no sir. And next we have seen one more case law. See Srinivasa versus Raja Ram Mohan Rao. In this case law, he entered into agreement for financing the minor's marriage. Financing the minor's marriage is opposed to public. Yes sir, no sir. And it is unlawful agreement. And we have seen one more example also, beta. Agreement entered to give the bribe to secure the job in the government office. Giving the bribe is unlawful, prohibited by law. And we have seen one more example, beta. One guy already, he is a Hindu, he was married, his wife is alive, entering into agreement with an unmarried girl for getting married. Yes sir, no sir. All these agreements are unlawful agreements because they are forbidden by law. So an agreement is said to be unlawful if it is forbidden by law. An agreement is said to be unlawful if it is defeating the provisions of the law. Defeating the provisions of the law means overriding the law. We have to act within the law. We should not go beyond the law. For example, beta, as per law, Ramamurthy versus Gopaya, to recover the, if you want to recover the loan, if you are giving any loan, no beta, the loan must be repayable within 3 years. Can we make it 2 years? No. Can we make it 4 years? No. We cannot make it 4 years. We cannot make it 2 years. 3 years means 3 years only. Then I am giving the loan to Ishwar. I said, I can't recover it back after 2 years. Valda void. Because Indian Limitation Act said it is 3 years. We can't make it 2 years. We can't make it 4 years also. 3 means 3. So agreement is said to be unlawful if it is forbidden by law, if it is defeating the provisions of the law. If you're doing something opposite to law, defeating the provisions of the law. Next, if it is fraudulent. Third one is the fraudulent. We discuss one example, beta. If it is fraudulent, we discuss one example. 3 people, Ajay, Vijay, Rajay, and Ishwar. These 4 people entering into agreement. Why? To enter into Ratan Tata building. To make a fraud on Ratan Tata, let us share this amount equally. But Ishwar said, I only made whole fraud. I want 50%. Yes sir, no sir. What is the nature of the agreement? The main objective of the agreement is to make a fraud on the third party. It will be void. So agreement should not be unlawful. It is said to be unlawful if it is forbidden by law, if it is defeating the provisions of any law, if it is fraudulent, and if it is involves injury to another person or another person's property. So I said to Ishwar, I'll give 10 lakhs if you break Nikhil legs. The objective of the agreement between me and Ishwar is to injury to another person. Otherwise, Nikhil is a respectable person. I said to Ishwar, if you damage his goodwill in the market, I'll give you 10 lakhs. If the objective of the agreement is to defame any person, destroy any person, then agreement will be void and unlawful. or others property. If destroy nickel property, destroy nickel legs, if destroy nickel name, I will give 10 lakhs. The objective is unlawful objective because destroying the name, destroying the property is not as per law. So agreement should not be unlawful. It is said to be unlawful if it is forbidden by law, if it is defeating the provisions of any law, if it is fraudulent, if it is involving injury to another person, another person's property, another person's name and fame. Next, if court regards it as immoral or opposed to public policy, government said that, court said that this is a bad agreement, like prostitution, cucumberage, cohabitation, all are similar. Cucumberage, cohabitation, all these agreements are opposite to society and unlawful and void of any issue. And we have seen a case la Babaji versus Hamdanagar. So in this case la, so what was happened beta? So one guy will be there, he will give the money to one auntie to give divorce to her husband, so that this guy will marry the auntie. That agreement is opposite to public policy. So should not be unlawful. It is said to be unlawful in 5 cases: forbidden by law, defeating the provisions of any law, fraudulent, injury to another person, and court regards it as immoral. Then next one, it should not, object should not be illegal. It is said to be illegal if the illegal agreement is an agreement whose objective is to do an illegal activity, and it will be void ab initio. In case of illegal transactions, even collateral transactions are illegal and void ab initio. If there is any transaction which contains legal part and illegal part, if legal part and illegal part are separable, if it is separable, legal part is valid and enforceable. Legal and illegal part are legal and illegal parts are separable. Legal part is valid and enforceable. Illegal part void and not enforceable. If legal and illegal parts are not separable, everything will become illegal and void. I am entering into agreement for sale of sugar packet and brown sugar packet. Sugar packet is legal, enforceable. Brown sugar is illegal. I am entering into agreement with you for sale of a packet which contains both brown sugar and sugar in the single packet. Sugar, brown sugar not separable. Everything will become void. And I am giving a flat. 2 portions are there. One flat is for residential purpose, other one is for gambling. This is enforceable. This rent is not enforceable. Then if residential part 2 and gambling part is not separable, everything will become illegal and void. Yes sir, no sir. What is this chapter beta? The objective and consideration, objective and consideration should not be unlawful, should not be illegal, should not be opposite to public policy, and it is said to be unlawful if it is forbidden by law, forbidden by law, if it is defeating the provisions of any law, if it is fraudulent, if it involves injury to another person, or another person's property. If court regards it as immoral, if court treats it as immoral, then illegal. If legal part and illegal part separable, legal plus illegal, legal plus illegal, separable not separable. If it is separable, legal part valid, illegal part void. If not separable, everything will be void. And agreements opposite to public policy. We are having nearly 11 headings beta. How many headings? 11 headings. It's my first heading. What's public policy? First of all, public policy is never defined. Public policy is not defined by Indian Contract Act. Any policy opposite to society, inconvenient to society, is opposite to public policy. First is main agreement with the alien enemy. Alien enemies are not our friends. We should not enter into any agreement. If you're entering into an agreement with the alien enemy opposite to public policy and void. Next, stifling prosecution. Entering into activities of court of law. Buying the witness, giving the bribe to judge, bribe to lawyer, bribe to witness. So all these agreements are about public policy and void. So we have seen an example. So Ishwar is trying to purchase the witness in the court of law. Next, agreements tending to create maintenance and CHAP party important beta. In case of maintenance, two parties are fighting and third party will help one of the party to contract. So who has to file a case? Actually, Nikhil has to file a case on Ishwar. Nikhil don't know how to fight. Aditya is helping the Nikhil to fight with Ishwar without having any interest. इसको बोलते हैं maintenance agreement. Which agreement? Maintenance agreement. Third party is helping to maintain the suit without having any interest. So Aditya is helping the Nikhil to file a case on the Ishwar, but he will take 10% of the benefits. Party. In England, both are void ab initio. In India, court will decide whether it is as public policy or opposite to public policy. Agreement for sale of public offices and public titles will be void. Public office means government job. If you're giving any bribe to get the job in the government office, that is opposed to public policy and void. Agreement is tending to create restricting the parental rights. No agreement in the world has the right to separate the parents from their children. If there is any agreement which separates the parents from their children, will be opposite to public policy and void. We have seen a famous case la Jiddu Narayanish versus Anibisant. In this case la Jiddu Narayanish is having the two sons. He's giving his babies to Anibisant for adoption. Subsequently, Narayanish asking the babies back. Can he ask like that? Yes. Because no paper can separate the parents from their children. This example exam mein aaya beta. Next, agreements tending to create restricting the liberty. Liberty means freedom. If there is any agreement restricting the freedom of a person, will be void. So I am giving the loan to Ishwar. I said, Ishwar, without my consent, don't change your address, don't change job, don't leave city, don't go to movie, don't marry, don't eat. So I am restricting the freedom of the person. That will be void ab initio. Agreements tending to create monopoly. There are hundreds of the garment shops in Hyderabad, garment shops. I entered into agreement with all these garment shops. All you people close your shops, garments. So I am the only the seller in Hyderabad. So that one pant, trouser, 1 lakh rupees, one shirt, 3 lakhs rupees, one short, 6 lakhs rupees. Monopoly is bad to society. If there is any agreement, that agreement leads to create monopoly. Agreement will be opposite to public policy and void. Marriage brokerage contracts. So marriage brokers are opposed to society and void ab initio. But Telugu matrimony, Shadi.com, they are not the marriage brokers. They are renting only their web page to keeping your photo. Then next, agreements tending to create agreements in detriment of the marriage. Restricting a person from getting married will be opposed to public policy and void. Agreements in detriment of trade, restricting a person from doing the legal business, is void because everybody has right to do legal business. Agreement in detriment of legal proceedings, everybody has a right to go to court of law for justice. If I am restricting you from approaching court of law for justice, will be opposed to public policy and void. Done. So with this we have done with the revision of this small topic. In the next class we'll do the scanner. Done. Have a great time. Enjoy the day. Prepare well. SGs and golf. Take care. In the next class, we'll do the scanner.